For the last several months, the City of Atlanta Office of the Inspector General and I have been subjected to threats, bullying, intimidation, and harassment at the hands of people who have been the subjects of our investigations. Pure and simple, it's retaliation. The attacks have been systematic, sustained, and savage. As we have uncovered more corruption, once again, at the highest rungs of City Hall, the attacks have gotten worse. Now, you've heard a little bit about our office. As James Radford said, our job is to identify fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption to serve this city. And that's exactly what we have done. We reported it to you, the public, because transparency and accountability matter. That's what it is to have an Office of Inspector General. Through our work, we've been able to protect city employees who have been victimized by abuses by city leaders. Through our work, we've been able to call out favoritism and collusion in procurement to help level the playing field for city vendors, not just the special few, but for all city vendors. Through our work, we've identified bribery so that you residents and small business owners don't have to pay a toll for the city services that you're already paying for with your taxpayer dollars. You, the public, have appreciated our work. You've recognized the care and professionalism and detail of our reports. I am so incredibly proud of the work that's been done by the dedicated professionals of the OIG team, many of whom are behind me now. This team has worked tirelessly for the City of Atlanta, and I couldn't be happier to stand on their record and their efforts. But however much the people of the City of Atlanta want us to be here and want us to be doing our job, city leadership has made it crystal clear. For them, a real, functioning, effective Office of Inspector General is not welcome in Atlanta. They claim to stand with OIG, but quite clearly, their actions speak louder than their words. On our end, we present facts. They tell falsehoods about our operations. We detail findings, and they try to undermine our credibility. We make recommendations to address vulnerabilities. They ignore those and attack our character. We talk about industry standards and best practices, and they insist on guardrails for a train that has only ever stayed on the tracks. None of this is lost on the people who are actually paying attention. The public isn't fooled. The public recognizes an assault on government oversight when it sees it. And the public has every right to ask the obvious question: why? Why the unrelenting effort to hurt an office that's here to identify wrongdoing for the benefit of the city? We've watched for months as these city leaders have proposed legislation to weaken the office, while they've attempted to demean the staff of the office, and as they've tried to ruin my professional reputation. Now, a little about me. Some of you have gotten to know me. When Atlanta, as Don Panovi said, decided 5 years ago that it needed an IG, the city had reached out to me. I wasn't looking, I was in New York. But I was so excited to come here and bring this IG function to benefit the city of Atlanta. I love this work. And to be able to bring this here to serve the people, What an opportunity. Those of you who have gotten to know me know that I'm a little bit of a nerd, right? I love learning about IG work. And so taking that experience, not just based on what I knew from New York, but wanting to build on it to make sure that this office could be the best that it could be. So that means studying what's happening in other cities, in other counties, seeing what operations they have, what their policies and procedures are, what their legislation looks like, so that the City of Atlanta Office of Inspector General could be the best that it could be. I've cared so much and tried so hard so that I could best serve my new city. And until last year, I have absolutely loved this job. Now, it hasn't been easy. The people behind me can attest to the fact that it has not been easy, but I've loved it. I've loved the challenge of it. I've loved connecting with city employees and city stakeholders. Ultimately, I've loved serving this city. The legislation that everyone's been talking about, that's going to be voted on today, is going to destroy the office. I'm not going to mince words about that. It is going to destroy the office. I know it, you know it, and they know it. But if the discussion surrounding the office had stayed at the level of policy, and certainly if that discussion had involved a real review of how offices of Inspector General work, that would have been okay. But things have taken a turn. 2 weeks ago, the abuse that I've been routinely subjected to was then extended to my family. And that is not okay. Now, a multi-pronged attack on an organization and its leader, it's not new around here. For those who have been paying attention, it should have a oddly, sadly familiar ring to it. For our office, that attack has most recently involved subpoenas and lawsuits. As James Bradford said, those claims will be defended. I just want to be clear, that's not why I'm here today. This isn't about the merits of any lawsuit. And I use merits there very loosely. As James noted, the lawsuit claims will be defended, and truly, thank goodness for board-approved James Bradford. The whole reason the City of Atlanta Office of Inspector General, like any Office of Inspector General, needs an attorney of its own is to protect against potential conflicts of interest. Glaring, obvious, don't need to be a lawyer to recognize it, conflicts of interest. You know, like the ones where the attorney who's supposed to protect the office ends up being the same attorney who attacks the office. You know, like where the same lawyer who's supposed to represent the office is the person who makes a video misrepresenting the office and our work. Now, some of you heard and some of you reported on the fact that I took some days off. No, it was not because I was put on any leave. It's because I needed to take some time. I needed to take some time to step away and reflect and come to grips with everything that these people have been doing to me. And that's how I've come to the incredibly difficult decision to resign as Inspector General of the City of Atlanta. I hate that it's come to this. For the members of the public, including so many, those who are behind me and those who are out there who supported this office, for all the employees we've tried to help, please know that I have done everything in my power to fight for the office so that we could continue to serve you. I wish that there was more that I could do, but ultimately, I can't make the leadership of this city do right by the public. All I can do is try to make sure that the serious allegations that you all have entrusted the OIG do not die with me or with the imminent death by legislation of our office. OIG has open, active investigations, serious investigations that after today, because of the proposed legislation, we may not be able to pursue. Which means that ultimately the fate of the office now rests in your hands, the hands of the public. I've always fought for this office and for the good that it brings this city. And I'm going to continue to do so, but now just as a member of the public. Thank you.